Hi, class. So I'm going to cover today here one of our forensics examination assignments. So a few students have been stuck a little bit on this one and kind of give you some guidance and some help here as we're actually performing a forensic investigation. So high-level summary, we've been hired as a forensics examiner here at Lorem Ipsum University, and we're interested in Howard W. Campbell. He works in the administration office in Chicago. There's speculation to believe that this person has been removing data from a student application database. It's not allowed. So basically, what we're being assigned to in this task as the forensics examiner is to look at the USB device that was given to us to examine and specifically find out if this person has access to any student data um, that would have been a violation and considered a data breach, potentially impacting notifications to specific number of students. If this person, we do find factual information that there's been evidence to show, um, or at least based on the findings that we can make the proper assumption that data has been exfiltrated that should not have been. So again, we'll go ahead and examine the file here. We've been provided the device. Typically, when you do this, you insert some sort of write blocker, right? We don't want to plug in original evidence source data to our forensics system. We always want to basically put a write blocker on, make a forensic copy before we do our investigation. So we'll assume we've already inserted the write blocker. We then plug in the USB device. We used a tool like FTK Imager and we've made an image of the device. And we're going to use, for our purpose, autopsy to perform the investigation and see what we find and see if we have any facts to back up uh, the investigation request on why this has come to our attention. So um, I've already opened up our lab. We've already, again, collected the copy, and we're going to run autopsy. And again, like I've suggested before in other videos, always run these as an administrator. Ensure that we have full rights and access to do what we need to do in the tool. So we'll give autopsy here just a second to load. We'll give it a new case. We'll call it Campbell. Usually put a date behind it. And go ahead and click next. And again, I'm just going to call this case number Campbell, and we'll just do hyphen with today's date. Right, put in your name, phone, email, notes, all of that, so it can be part of the report and the findings. So once that's loaded, we'll open up from the undergrad folder assigned to this forensics investigation the image file that's already been captured and created before we actually start the investigation. So give this a second to finish loading. And then we'll go ahead and add our data source, which is the forensic image copy that we've created. It's a disk image. And then we already know where it's located here under the undergrad folder, week 3 for the examination. So let's go ahead and we'll click browse, make sure we select the right file. Click next. I am going to leave everything turned on because again, we're looking for something. We're not really sure where it's stored, how they stored it, if it is stored here or if it was deleted. So all of these features and tools we're going to want for our ingestion capabilities, looking at all files, all directories, unallocated space, either currently resident on the drive or that it's been previously deleted. So we'll go ahead and let that run now and get this started. It will take just a little bit. So as it starts to analyze the data, you're probably going to notice this is going to get stuck around the 95 to 99% area. And that'll be important for us to make sure that we are ready to analyze, do keyword searches, and possibly look for missing data. In this case, we know that it's related to the Lorem Ipsum essays is what they're speculating. So if we had student names already, we could search on student names, part of the e-discovery work. But specifically, once this is done analyzing, as you can see down in the right corner, it's at 97%. We could do a quick keyword search for um, the simulated university name that we're using here um, for Lorem Ipsum and see if that provides any findings. That's probably the quickest way you're going to go about doing a forensics examination like this. We can also browse on the left side, and if what I would do is just a personal preference is I would start expanding everything. You can look at things one at a time, but it's kind of nice to go ahead and just open up all of the findings as it starts to populate and really give us a quick perspective and view of this drive. So as you can see here, it's still stuck. I mean, it's not really stuck. It's analyzing, and it's going to hang at this 99% time for quite a while. So I can see right off the bat, I have 503 images. Some of them are still on the drive. Some of them have been deleted. I've got 9 plain text files that could give me something to start investigating. Uh, Interesting, one file has been deleted. Sure looks like it's related to the word essays, so that seems suspicious already. And then you've got all these various text files that you can start going through. As you can see in autopsy, we can see we have 78 files that have been deleted. There's that essay file. Again, we'd have to do some more research and look into the file itself. Altogether, there's been 97 files analyzed as part of being deleted. So you can start doing your investigation, start looking at the files, look at the deleted files. It's interesting, not all of them are pictures right away, right? So as I go to some, that looks very interesting. I'm already seeing some names listed. These could be student names. And again, looking for traces that it's related to the university, the best way to do that is let's go back and do a keyword search. So we'll do the search again for based on the university. I would just suggest searching on these 2 keywords separately. You could do them together. We could populate them together. It may give us an error that it's not finished analyzing, which it did. So that's okay. Let's let it run. I'm going to do another keyword. I'm going to do just separately by itself. And again, same warning, let it run. And then I'll do another one just for the third word by itself and let that run. Now, this is kind of part of using autopsy to do an e-discovery capability search. So we're looking for very specific terminology, very specific things that are related to either keyword search 3 Ipsum, the keyword search 2 I have going Lorem, or a keyword search which makes it a little bit more accurate using both. And again, if we had that list from the university providing us with the student names, probably would want to do a search specifically on the students. That's going to be our best evidence that this person, Campbell, was not authorized and did collect data that, again, we would turn over in a report with our evidence and let them take it from there. We typically aren't leading any kind of prosecution. We're providing in our chain of custody our forensic report, our findings, and turning that over for basically most likely the university legal team in conjunction with the outside counsel that they would use if they're looking to take any kind of civil or criminal actions against this person. So I'm going to go through and look at my first keyword search here and just kind of see what I find. And boy, it's interesting, right? There's a label of a family picture, which, if you remember in the examination summary, Campbell did state that this was used for pictures. So it is listed in here as part of the finding, and this person stated that they didn't have anything from the university when they gave us approval when they handed over the drive for approval to search it. So I would say that's obviously a problem, right? Right. This file was renamed to be a JPEG to look like a picture, but clearly it's not, right? There's 8 matches within this file that have likelihood of having students associated with it. Um, and we could then take this file, you could extract the file and save it outside of the image, drop it wherever you want, you know, then we could use some other tools. I would probably try to import this into Excel and look at some formatting versions to see if this will format into some kind of like simple CSV separated by commas or other tabular separations of the file that allow me to see the data broken down more. And again, it's going to take a lot of time. You'd have to go through all of these files looking for any kind of relationship with potential students. And again, I'm just kind of quickly glancing down each file and looking for that type of evidence. Um, so again, a lot of words here that are in Latin, based on Lorem Ipsum being part of the Roman Latin language. Nothing's jumping out right away with student names, but again, these are rather large files, most likely. So you can see some of these pages have quite a bit of data to them, and it would take a while to go through all of them. So I usually like to start with plain text also, and like this essay files is an interesting one, but it's already really, there's not a lot of easy stuff to look at right there. That's already been damaged, it looks like, one way or the other. But as I start to look at these other files right away, this one seems very interesting. There are names already associated in the file. So again, you can go through there, and because it's part of our, um, let's see, F014, let's see if it's listed in, it is listed, right? So knowing that there's students, potential students, listed in here from the search, I can see that it's also tied to, in this example, we're utilizing this example as that's the university, right? So more than likely, we do have evidence already. Take that evidence, put it into your forensics report, which should be populated by very specific data, going through the process, listing specifics around the drive, how we collected the data, and then all of the process steps that we used in our forensics investigation. So there is data, there is evidence here to show already that university data is on this drive when the student told us there would only be pictures of his family on the drive. So plenty to work on here to give evidence. And typically I would recommend in this process, we would give a quick summary of findings, letting the team know that came to us to do the work. It does suggest there's evidence of school data being stolen, and they usually like to have those early um, summary announcements just to let them know kind of next steps and when the report would be ready. So again, hopefully that helps, and reach out if you have any questions. Have a great day.